Do you have the capacity to attract a provider into your life? Hey guys, that's what I want to talk about in this video. Do you have the capacity to attract a provider into your life? Now, you might be wondering, why is this girl dressed like this? It has a lot to do with why I even want to talk about this topic. So, tomorrow's my birthday, so I was going to take some pictures, and I love Colorado aesthetic and Western aesthetic. And so I thought, well, why not dress up and take some pictures for my birthday? And it's interesting because I say this, but every single year around my birthday, I get super anxious. I get anxiety. And it's interesting because I meditate all the time. When I talk about it on this channel, I meditate all the time. And often I'm pretty peaceful, chill, that thing. But I couldn't figure out why I was so anxious. Then I was like, oh, my birthday's coming up. That's why. And I was watching a video because I'm used to it. Like I said, every year around my birthday, I get super anxious. I get anxiety. It's hard to say that I've had good birthdays, but I was watching a video and it was from Rabbi Abe. So I like the ideals and the philosophy of the Kabbalah, the Jewish community, Jewish philosophy, and those kind of things. I actually like Christianity. I like Hinduism. I like Buddhism. I see the common thread in all the religions. So I was watching a video from him, and he was saying about anxiety, how to lean into it. It's the anxiety that you're feeling is calling you to another level. It's calling you to pretty much expand your capacity. And so it made me think, oh, I need to lean into this. Every year I'm being called to go to another level, and I dismiss it. And I need to lean into this calling of going to another level. And I do videos on feminine energy and provision and being embodied, manifested like a woman. And one of the things I realized, I recognize patterns. And one of the things I realized is that I didn't have the capacity to hold the fullness of what I desired. And I had to come to terms with that. I was talking with a girlfriend, and I was telling her, I was like, I dated several guys. I wasn't sleeping with them, but I dated several guys. And only, I would say, a couple I had serious relationships with. If you call it serious, I don't know. If you could call it serious. But there was very distinct attributes in each one of these men. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, how could I not have all of these attributes in one man? It was one distinct attribute. So when it comes to a self-actualized man, some would say a provider man, I consider there's 3 distinct attributes when it comes to a self-actualized man. And I'm going to try to go off the top of my head, but I wrote it in my book, Manifest It Like a Woman. And one is strength, that quiet strength, just really supportive strength. Number 2 is being present and being present, super important. And number 3 is being taken care of, security, the financial part, provision, you might say. And so I looked at these 3 attributes, and I saw in each one of the men, they had one of these attributes, but never the whole thing. And I always was like, I really feel like it's a capacity issue. I really feel like it's a matter of I can't hold the energy of all of it. Now, it's interesting because I started getting into breath work. I did a video on the weight loss body tips for the spiritual girly. I've really just been coming back to my body and becoming aware of my body. And in that, I started what I consider being reborn again. I had to learn how to walk properly as far as my foot hitting the ground, because the way that your feet hit the ground makes your body feel safe, physically safe. And that's super important. And I had to learn to breathe again. And in learning how to breathe correctly from the diaphragm, I would expand my belly and on the exhale, contract my diaphragm. So it was like, I think I was doing the opposite. I was inhaling and bringing my belly in. And most people don't realize that they are breathing incorrectly. And so I had to learn to breathe again. I had to learn to speak again, see all the things. And in the breathing, I realized when I was practicing, because I had to practice breathing again, that as I expanded my womb space, my tummy area, that it wouldn't expand that much because I had been breathing wrong the whole time. So it would get to a point where it would feel stressed. It was a lot of tension. And I realized, wow, I don't have the capacity to hold a good breath. And that's what made me realize that my capacity was constricted. It was constricted. And then I thought about everything happens on a spiritual level first. Then I thought about the pattern, how they all had one attribute that I really enjoyed, but they only had the one. And oh, I realized this in meditation. Oh, make sure the mic's on. Oh, I don't have the capacity to energetically hold all of what I desire and what is healthy in a self-actualized masculine provider man. I realized that. And so I thought that was really profound. And I started really expanding my capacity on a physical level with the breathing. But also, as I did that, I also started to expand my capacity on an energetic level. I could feel myself expanding and expanding my capacity to allow that into my life. And I wanted to share that because I think it's important, because over the years I've realized too is that sometimes when things were good, I was waiting for the bad thing to happen or the shoe to drop or something like that, because that is just an indication that you don't have the capacity to hold great things or hold things. Is that you really have to learn how to expand your capacity to hold it. And my previous videos, I was talking about certain things when it came to not being fully provided for and these kind of things. It's because I lack the capacity to have that energetically in my life. And breath work is just a really great way to expand your capacity, because we're working on a body level and a nervous system level. And people will talk about this too, is that your nervous system doesn't have the capacity to hold money, happiness, your desires, and stuff like that. And the same goes with a self-actualized man if you're calling in a partner, which is you at the end of the day. I say that too. But when it comes to the breathing and expanding your diaphragm and being able to hold in all that you are, we have to practice that. We have to practice expanding and allowing all that we are into reality, into this material world. So I wanted to share that. And I also want to do a little exercise with you guys, because I think that it can be helpful. And this is something that I do to really help me expand my capacity. Now, when I'm doing breath work, this is just one visualization that I do, is I imagine when I'm inhaling that not earth, fire, light, electricity is coming through the top of my head and into my womb. And as I inhale at the same time, not just that way, but water from the earth and coming into my womb space. And I expand as much as I can. I'm taking in all that I am. And as I exhale, I allow my diaphragm to release. My tummy comes in. I say tummy. Sometimes I'll say tummy to my son. And he's like, it's not a tummy, it's a stomach. It's still a tummy to me. But I allow my tummy to come in and contract. And as I exhale, I'm exhaling all that I am. This fire water, this fertility, this richness into my life. I see it into my life. And so I think this is a great exercise to expand your capacity as you inhale fire, electricity, light in, earth, water from below into your womb space. Inhale and expand your diaphragm, your womb space, as much as you can, taking in all that you are and exhaling that richness, that creation energy, and exhaling it and seeing it permeate everything. This is going to help you expand your capacity to hold more, to hold all your desires, to hold that self-actualized man, not just 1, 2, 3 attributes or whatever. Well, in my book, I have 3 attributes, but there's things under those 3 attributes. But being able to hold that in love. So I really wanted to share that. We can want these things. We can desire a self-actualized man, a provider man, a delicious man. We can want these things, but if we don't have the capacity to hold it, we will push it away. It will not materialize into our reality. So, did want to share that. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to take some pictures before the sun goes down. I'm still feeling quite anxious for my birthday, but like I said, I'm leaning into it. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm reframing this. And they say anxiety feels the same way as excitement in the body. So we'll look at it that way. Anyways, you guys, that's all. You can subscribe, and I will check you in the next video. Peace.